Hi Lindsay, so here is the first pass at the bedroom. I've got the doors approximately as you've described, sort of plus or minus a centimetre on the openings. Doesn't change things greatly. Let's just, now we know they're there, let's hide those. So I've deviated from your design quite considerably here. I've assumed you meant gliding shoe racks here. Now if those are in fact just simple flat shelves, we could simplify it possibly. I will draw that for you. But what I've done is I've shown 45 centimetre wide gliding shoe racks, and that's the style of rack that'll work for flats, heels and pretty much anything else really. And I've shown it in two bays, and those are set so that neither bay interferes with the door. I can't use the 600 wide gliding shoe rack here because that will interfere with the doors. There's no point putting the gliding shoe racks into these more enclosed areas on the left and right because the gliders won't work, and although you'll be able to put shoes in them, they won't serve a great deal of use. Where I've shown shelves hanging over the boundary here, this is just me doing very quick model making to get an idea of, you know, how I might hang things and where I might hang things. So your design is showing a few more shelves. I think we could probably give over that area to shelves, and getting hanging past a gliding unit here it's doable, but it's never that convenient. So that area is slightly inaccessible, but I think hanging is better than shelves in that area, and that doesn't apply there. You'll be able to get to the shelves reasonably easily. So you end up with some slim areas where you can put very long hanging at the extreme end or between the shoe racks there. You've got some normal height hanging here. The other thing I did suggest is if you look at this dress here, how that interferes with this rack of shoe racks. I wondered whether it was worth actually just getting rid of those two shoe racks altogether. Those racks hold 4 pairs of shoes each. So 4 times 4, 16, you've got 16 pairs of shoes there. It's not great, but I think your sketch, you'll notice that you've drawn it sort of as a square there, and it's actually pretty much a landscape composition, so you haven't got as much width there as perhaps you guessed. Okay, let's move on to this is the first pass at the office. Now I just need to change, I need to bring those features back in. So this is without the existing internal divisions removed, and all I've done is I've added another rail there for trousers. You'd have to check these relative hanging heights. That my trouser model there is very definitely hitting the floor, but I'm going to give you 2D models so you can let's get that in a perspective view. That's a bit easier to look at. You can see these trousers are hitting the floor there. I'm going to give you 2D views with basic dimensions so you can look into, you know, that is a standard gent shirt. That is definitely correct. I don't use that trouser model often. It might be that you can get high hangers that are better for trousers as well, so it might be that that space is going to work. Right, so the only place I've used Elfa is basically to create some simple shelving in that bay as per your design, which is yeah, so you know, that's really the only place. If you're going to keep the existing divisions in that wardrobe, that's really the only place you could justify using Elfa as a quick and cheap way to create some shelves, as opposed to, you know, having a carpenter come in and make bespoke shelves. So let's move on and let's look at what we could do in the office with a bit more Elfa. So again, let me get rid of those existing divisions. That's done it, and let's talk about this design. So this is much closer to your design by going to all Elfa. I've gone for a slightly higher rail that gives you much more hanging capacity, so it's immediately solved the hanging issue with the trousers. They're a good distance from the floor there. I assume that is a reachable height. I'm just going to measure that for you. That is distance from the floor. Yeah, 207 centimeters. That is, I'm 5'9". That's a reachable position for me. Lots of hanging space here, as per your design, and not quite so much high storage, and I've shown a 300mm deep shelf here to allow you to reach up and through this gap. This is a common problem with these modern wardrobes, is that you've got to navigate that gap with whatever it is that you're storing up there. Alternatively, you bring that rail right down, but it needs to come really low for that gap issue to disappear. Personally, I think it's worth keeping the rail high, keeping the hanging height, and just, you know, accepting that that space is not the answer to all your storage problems, that very high space. There is a way of creating even more hanging height here by eliminating that shelf, and it allows things to hang right down into the rail there. I wonder if I can quickly show you that. Let's just see. Let's see if that's going to work. Yes, it is. So, okay, we don't need those panels at the side there, but getting rid of the shelf, we can just have that as a hanging rail. It means we could get more hanging here or move that rail up. So on the office, I think get rid of the divisions. I think you're going to be able to get much denser storage with Elfa. And on the bedroom, if you want gliding shoe racks, you have to get rid of the divisions, in my opinion. I will look at putting some shelves into the bedroom now. I will look at putting some shelves in this area, and possibly having shelves for shoes instead of gliders for shoes.